everyone. Today I am in Brockville, Ontario, and I'm going to take you on a tour of the Brockville Railway Tunnel. But first, I'm just going to show you that there is this caboose on display that you can go inside. That is right next to the tunnel. So here's the information plaque about it. So it was built in 1954, donated, restored, and placed here in 1887. This steel caboose was built in 1954 for the Canadian Pacific Railway at their Angus shops in Montreal. It served the eastern division of the railway for many years. Cabooses or vans to trainmen were usually used at the end of freight trains. The Brockville caboose probably began its life as an assigned caboose, but later functioned as a pooled or run-through caboose. Early cabooses were assigned to only one conductor. A pooled caboose remained hooked up to a train over an extended route, while the crew, consisting of at least one conductor and one brakeman, would change periodically. In 1987, the city of Brockville expressed an interest in obtaining a retired caboose for the site, and the CPR generously donated the car. Originally destined for the Winnipeg salvaging yards, the caboose has been restored to the 1950s era to commemorate Brockville's railway history and its many railway workers. All right, let's go inside and check it out. Light fixtures, benches, Brockville caboose built in 1954, donated in 1987. There's seats up there on both sides. More seating. Back door. Here, some facts from the conductor. Again, donated by the Canadian Pacific Railway, weighs 45,000 pounds. Caboose means the end of the train. Served in the eastern division of the Canadian Pacific Railway. Steel superstructure under frame and car, and it is 10.11 meters in length. All right, let's go check out the infamous tunnel now. And there is the tunnel. It's located right next to the caboose. Give you a better shot of it by walking over here before we go in. This is what it looks like on the outside. So this is a free attraction in Brockville. Please note that it is quite cold inside, and there are spots where there is water dripping, so dress accordingly. Enjoy the light show as we walk through. Please note the first feature is that it has signs of the streets and how high above the streets are. As I said, this is a free attraction, but you can make donations to maintain the railway tunnel. So in addition to the light show, there's a bunch of informational signs throughout that give you historical facts. So the railway tunnel from the Canadian Pacific Railway Yard, about 1950, when the tunnel was still used to deliver raw materials to a few remaining waterfront industries. There are spots where the floor is wet, so you do have to watch your step. So here is more information. Tunnel construction began at this end by digging a large trench from Water Street to about King Street through the original Market Square. As the Victoria Hall, now City Hall, did not exist at that time, the arched stone tunnel was then built in the trench and backfilled to restore Market Square. Note the holes on both sides of the tunnel. They held scaffolding and an arched wooden form used by stonemasons to support the ceiling during the construction and for later repairs. All right, so I'm going to show you. You can see these are the holes, and you can see them throughout the tunnel. The next interesting feature are the ventilation shafts to light out the smoke and steam from the trains. So as I said, the ventilation shafts. The steam locomotives that first traveled through the tunnels belched clouds of smoke and steam. It was important to provide venting for these. The two shafts you see above first opened to the exterior in the original Market Square above the tunnel. In 1863, the new Victoria Hall, now City Hall, was built directly overhead, and the ventilation shafts were incorporated into the new building. Today they appear as two stone chimneys jutting from the roof of City Hall. On top of the eastern chimney is the new electric vent fan, which helps keep the tunnel air fresh.
The ending?
Right, so now King Street is above us. So in the 1860s, the B&O had a set of new wood-burning locomotives like this one. In the background is the first passenger depot that was located south of the Water Street portal. Mineral formations. Ever since the tunnel was built, groundwater has been seeping through its walls and ceiling. The minerals in this water, leached from the surrounding limestone and sandstone, have been deposited to create the beautiful mineral formations seen throughout the tunnel. These formations are primarily calcite, which is white in color, and dolomite, which is more yellowish. Traces of iron appear orange-red, while nickel and copper are blue-green. These are stalactites. There are stalactites hanging from the ceiling and walls, and flowstone where water is flowing over a surface. The growth of these formations in the tunnel is faster than in most naturally formed caves, but it is still only 1 millimeter per year. All right, so here is an example of how the water is changing color of the rock. And you can see the dripping water. Up here is really interesting how it's dripping. Another example of how it discolors the rock in the rock formation. So, the extraction shaft. This large hole goes up to below the road surface near the corner of Victoria Avenue and Pine Street. It was used as an access portal during blasting operations. It would have been used like a mine shaft to extract blasting rock to bring in construction materials, supplies, and workers, and to pump out groundwater. All right, so I'm going to show that extraction shaft to you now. So if you look up, it's right above you. And it is also dripping water. Right, so now Pine Street is above us. Drilling and blasting construction. You are now in a section of the tunnel north of King Street that has to be blasted through bedrock. In the 1850s, dynamite nitroglycerin had not been invented, so black powder, gunpowder, was the explosive of choice. Blasting holes were hand chiseled into the rock and filled with powder. The remnants of a few of these holes can be seen in this section of the tunnel. Right, this section here has some major dripping water. The tunnel was designed to leak. Allowing water to permeate the stone walls prevents the buildup of hydrostatic pressure that could cause the walls to collapse. Certain areas are naturally more wet than others, and this has always been the case since the tunnel first opened in 1860. This continuous flow of water has caused the beautiful mineral deposits seen throughout the tunnel. The water has been tested and is natural groundwater, not leakage from the treated city water system. A good drainage system is incorporated into the new tunnel floor. Okay, so you can see this section dripping a lot of water, so it has major impact on the coloring of the stone. Diesel locomotives, in order to service the remaining waterfront industries when steam engines were taken out of service, a pair of yard diesels were used up until the early 1970s. Steam locomotives. CPR locomotive 3011 was one of two steam engines that were able to pass through the tunnel. Here it is standing in the yard south of the tunnel in May 1938. The second engine was 3063. Now, James Street is above us. This northern section of the tunnel had to be excavated using a tunneling shield to bore through solid earth. A formwork shield served as a temporary support structure that protected the workers from cave-ins as they labored within it, digging the tunnel out in front of them. The stone tunnel structure was built by masons at the trailing end of the shield, and the shield was then jacked forward as excavation continued. This technique was the forerunner of modern tunnel boring machines. Incorporated in 1853, the B&O was empowered to build a new railway from Brockville North to Smith Falls and then on the Ottawa River at Pembroke. The B&O also had rights to build branch lines from Smith Falls to Perth, Newborough, Westport, Merrickville, and Richmond, all growing villages at that time. Construction began in 1854, but progress was slow because of lack of funds. In 1854, the line from Brockville to Smith Falls and the branch to Perth was open to traffic. Other branches were never completed. By 1865, the northern leg going from Smith Falls through Carleton Place, Almont, and Arnprior was completed to Sandpoint on the Ottawa River. Prosperity from the Brockville and Ottawa Railway finally arrived in the 1870s after years of financial struggles. A second railway company, the Canada Central Railway, was chartered to run from the B&O station at Carleton Place to the LeBreton Flats on the west side of downtown Ottawa. This rail line was opened in 1870. The two railways collaborated and in 1878 were merged under the Canada Central Railway name. In June 1881, the Canada Central Railway was amalgamated into the Canadian Pacific Railway. Right, and now Pearl Street is above us. Okay, so we are coming to the end of the tunnel. Here is information if you want to learn more about the tunnel. Right, so thank you for watching this tour today with me. I will be doing a series of other attractions in Brockville, from the Aquarium to the Brockville Museum, Fulford Place, Blockhouse Island, etc. So subscribe to my channel, and until next time, happy travels.